this Iran nuclear deal may be close to passing that first hurdle, not a done deal yet, as we say, but if it does, the U.S. Congress, the House and the Senate will get a chance to review 60 days, in fact, before giving its blessing or rejection. Delaware Democrat Senator Chris Coons is joining us right now. He sits on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. What are you hearing, Senator? Deal or no deal?
Well, Wolf, I think all of us at this point are hearing strong rumors that there will soon be a final agreement. And I'm eager, as are many of my colleagues, to dig into the details, to review this roughly 100-page document, and to get briefings, both public hearings on the Foreign Relations Committee and classified briefings from the administration, from outside experts, from some of our very concerned allies. The administration may be at the very last stage of its long pursuit of an effort to freeze Iran's nuclear weapons program. Now Congress gets to have its say. And as you just said in your conversation with Christian Amanpour, I am gravely concerned about what Iran may well do with the tens of billions of dollars of Iranian frozen assets that they may get access to once they comply with the terms of this agreement. I'm concerned that they're going to buy weapons and spread terrorism in the region.
Senator, I sorry for interrupting, but are you okay lifting that UN arms embargo against Iran? That seems to be the last major hurdle right now, or at least one of the last major hurdles.
I am not. That's not something I've been consulted on. And I frankly think this was an Iranian gambit at the last minute to try and divide the United States and its European allies from China and Russia, which have a desire to sell weapons to Iran. I think Iran's behavior in the region, its support for terrorism and its export of weapons and material and fighting men to support Bashar al-Assad's murderous regime in Syria, to support the Houthis in Yemen and to support Hezbollah in Lebanon should be of real concern to us. This was to be a negotiation about their illicit nuclear weapons program, and to throw on the table at the last minute a lifting of the arms embargo strikes me as trying to broaden the scope of the negotiations. And I hope to discover that the agreement, should there be one finally, should it be presented to us by the administration, I hope to find that that agreement is tough and enforceable, that it has a strong inspections regime, and that it only gives sanctions relief as Iran comes into compliance with the agreement. But none of us knows the terms of the deal yet. We haven't seen any text yet, and I very much look forward to digging into those details in the next 60 days.
One of the top Israeli opposition leaders, Yair Lapid, who opposes the Netanyahu government, he also opposes any Iran deal right now. And he says, according to the agreement, I'll put it up on the screen, what he said, according to the agreement, if the inspectors of the International Atomic Energy Agency suspect that the Iranians are cheating and they want to carry out an inspection, then they will need to give notice 24 days in advance to a committee. And even if it's approved, they can't go unsupervised into the site. That's not supervision. That's a joke, and it's a regime which constantly cheats. That from Yair Lapid. Is that 24-day notice for so-called snap inspections, if in fact that's part of the deal, acceptable to you?
Well, it depends, Wolf, on what input I'm going to get from our intelligence service and from the administration about what they believe they can accomplish on a 24-day period. That's the first time I've heard that specific time frame. I recognize that for us to inspect sites in Iran on 24-hour notice or 72-hour notice is not technically likely or logistically practical. But to push it out towards 24 days or 30 days or 60 days, I would be gravely concerned about. So, look, this is just speculation about what the terms are for the inspection regime. That's one of the most important parts of this deal. It will be very closely scrutinized. In order for me to sign off on any such agreement, I would have to be fully briefed and informed and then convinced that we've got an inspection regime that will work. Previous experiences with our efforts to try and prevent North Korea and Pakistan from getting nuclear weapons were clearly unsuccessful. So we have to have a stronger, broader, and more unstoppable inspection regime here, given that we know Iran has a past history of cheating, and given that we know the consequences of failing to catch them at cheating or at trying to sneak out of this agreement would be so grave. So that's a key part of this agreement, and I'll be looking at it very closely, Wolf.
I'm sure you will. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Thanks, Senator, very much.
Thank you, Wolf.